welcome to the Tekkel Talk Show on Thursday evenings. And we commemorate Youth Day today. And we welcome you to our live show. Good evening, Alberic. How's things going your side?
Lekker, Annie. Good to be back. It's a lekker day. We had a lekker Youth Day. Spent some time with family, and just a nice day to commemorate. Also, just youth of our country. We always remember what our nation went through back in the day, but also just to look at the future. And it was great to hang out with some kids today, with our family's kids, and that's what it's all about. Your side, how you doing, man?
No problems, all good. It's been a bit rainy and a bit cold this week, but we are here.
Yeah.
And good evening to everybody online. I'm pretty sure there's many of you tuned in for this bumper packed show tonight. So we will have some chat about the URC. Hey, Clayton Smith, hy is altyd op tyd. Daar is die man, hy is al vroeg aand op. We have a bumper show. We're going to talk about the URC Final, and many of you probably struggle to get tickets, Alberic. Yeah, it was a struggle to get tickets. You are Stormer supporter. You will probably be heading out to Cape Town Stadium if you were one of the lucky ones. So if there's anybody online who was lucky enough to get tickets, give us a shout out. We also would want to go. Did you succeed, Alberic?
Yeah, I need. So does is a call anybody that's looking for somebody who wants to go along there. There's a spare ticket laying around. Ek steek my hand op, guys, laat weet vir my. Ek sal die WhatsApp. Kom ek sal die WhatsApp nommer op screen hy nie. Net vir die feit dat die mense as kyk as 'n extra ticket is, guys, please, you can use this line. Please let us know.
Let us know. There we have it. Our WhatsApp line 0652188511. Our WhatsApp line. Keep them coming. Alberic, it was quite a struggle for a lot of supporters to get tickets. I understand Ticket Pros just went offline for an hour or two, and then people struggled. And then later today, I think it was early today, but late in the afternoon, past lunchtime, there was another round of tickets that was released. I think it was about 5,000 or 6,000 tickets. And it was almost like a second bite of the cherry for many supporters.
Yeah, exactly. I think the feel is back. The gees is terug, and people want to obviously back the boys. I think there was a big call this week. I think Eddie Anders, one of the City of Cape Town's or governmental official, administration officials, he had a call made to the government to open the stadium up to allow more people at this day. It would have been fantastic to see a 60,000 seater stadium full for a final like that. Would have been fantastic. Is 60,000, 90 or 50,000?
Yeah, no, I think it's about 55,000 capacity.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they're gonna fill it up.
Yeah, it would have been amazing if we could get that, but nonetheless, with our restrictions in place, I think it's going to be a full packed Cape Town stadium. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a massive game coming this weekend.
No, for sure. We're talking about the United Rugby Championship Final. If there are people online who succeeded to get some of the tickets, please give us a thumbs up. We want to know. We didn't. Daar's Adrian Brinkies wat sê, "Nant manne, ek het hy het tickets gekry. Ek het my tickets." So Adrian Brinkies is op pad Cape Town Stadium toe. Hy's een van die manne wat Aidy gee daar vir Alberic 'n call. Ek was spoedig op pad, maar hy afskop. So maar 2 of 3 jackets moet aantrek, LB. Is maar tough as dit so koud is. Maar oor die algemeen, ek dink daar is van die manne wat tickets gekry het. Ek is seker daar is van die manne wat tickets gekry het. So as daar van die ouens is wat tickets het, gee vir ons asseblief 'n shout-out. Ek weet nie, ek dink ons het vir Alberic daar vir 'n sekonde of 2 verloor. Ek is seker of hy van line-up is nie. Maar vanaand gesels ons United Rugby Championships. Ons gesels oor die Proteas se ek wil amper sê hulle suksesse in Indië, en dan waarvoor julle almal vanaand natuurlik ingetune is die groot rugby derby waar ons bygewoon het so 2 weke terug tussen Abbotsdale en Wesbank. Dit gaan fantasties wees om 'n bietjie saam met julle te gesels oor dit. Wat was julle indrukke? Wat het julle gedink oor die derby? En sonder om vir julle te sê wie die derby gewen het, want ons gaan later intune oor dit, gaan ons gou kyk wat julle te sê het. So as julle online is, gee vir ons julle indrukke oor wat julle gedink het oor hy Wesbank teen Abbotsdale derby. Ek is nou nie seker, ek dink ek het vir Alberich vir 'n paar oomblikke verloor. Ek dink ons gaan nou bietjie kyk om hom weer online te kry. Ek is nie seker of daar netwerkprobleme is nie, maar ons gaan kyk om hom weer online te kry. Maar hierdie naweek groot rugby, die Stormers teen die Bulls in Kaapstad. Wat is julle indrukke? Ek dink dit gaan 'n absolute fantastiese finaal wees. 2 Suid-Afrikaanse spanne in hy finaal. En in Kaapstad natuurlik die Stormers wat die tuisveld voordeel het. Wat dink julle? Wat dink julle gaan daar gebeur? Natuurlik 'n wedstryd wat ek dink enige kant toe kan gaan. Die Bulls wat natuurlik laasweek teen Leinster gewen het en wie weet, jy weet, miskien kom die Bulls uitgerus Suid-Afrika toe, maar op die oomblik is dit die voordeel vir die Stormers. As julle dan Stormers supporters is, dink julle die Stormers kan die knoop deurhak?
Sorry about that. I'm back, yeah. Technical issues.
No problem. Ons het nou net 'n paar indrukke gekry. Ek dink ek het jou verloor. Is dit jou sein daarso of wat is iets wat daar aan jou kant?
Yeah, like me is a technical issue on Wi-Fi. Something happened. So yeah, I'm back live. Listen, yeah, I don't know where we lost Opto Viney, but I think we're talking about the weather, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we're talking about the United Rugby Championship. We just asked some of the viewers, what do they think is going to happen in the United Rugby Championship final? The Stormers at home against the Bulls. Do they believe that the home team can pull it through? Obviously, you believe that the home team can pull it through. I think.
No, sorry, I definitely hope so. I think, and maybe I'm trying to put my neutral bikey on as well at the same time. Look, the Bulls, you can't discredit the Bulls. I mean, they've put 1 or 2 past the Stormers on in Cape Town. I'm not going to say Newlands, and there's no Newlands near me, but they put 1 or 2 past us already. So we don't want to just make it a case of it's just another day at the office, and we'll just have to pitch up. The Bulls will definitely come back, and they're on the high as well. They're coming back with some big momentum. They've toppled the top league team of this competition, and for them that's like a big feather in the cap. So they're going to be coming with some momentum and trying to show what their worth is like, and they want to be accounted for on the day. Clayton, yeah, data is gekoop, dankie. So yeah, that's going to be awesome, yeah.
As Clayton wat net daar sê, ja nee, ons weet Alberich het daar so 'n bietjie connection problems op die oomblik. Ons hoop hy kan dit uitsorteer deur die loop van die program. Maar ja, LB, ek dink 'n interessante finaal wat wag, 'n baie interessante finaal wat wag. Ek dink dit gaan 'n interessante wedstryd wees tussen 2 baie goeie spanne. En ek dink Saterdag so 3 uur se kant gaan ek en jy weer gesels saam met ons luisteraars op Facebook en net weer vir hulle indrukke vra. Maar as daar mense online is, dink julle die Stormers het dit in hulle om die Bulls op Cape Town Stadium te klop? Hulle is tuis. Hulle het al verskeie kere gewys dat hulle net nie vermoë het om op die laaste hekkie te struikel. Is dit hierdie jaar daai keer wat hulle daai laaste hekkie oorkom en die Bulls klop om silwerware in hulle trofeekas te plaas? Dit natuurlik gaan harde werk kos en ook fisies gaan die Stormers definitief die job moet kan doen teen 'n Bullspan wat verskriklik fisiek is. Ek dink die Stormers se agterlyn is 'n bietjie beter, maar dinge begin natuurlik voor.
Yeah, it's going to be massive, and again, looking at you mentioned the backline, the Stormers, have that edge. I think just in the background in terms of having that, X factor moments. But the Bulls back again. The Bulls have been playing, some great rugby. I think the key to this weekend's past game, and we can just have a look at the results quickly of the weekend, or the scores at least, was the fact that the Bulls played finals rugby. They played rugby that was suited to not only the conditions, but they took the points when it counted, and they also made sure that they were, die bal vasgemaak die hele tyd. In fact, veral na die einde van die game. So they played the kind of rugby, and you could see in the Stormers game again, there was a few points that they squandered, a few points, goal kicks that they should have taken. that they didn't put through, and that also counted against them. So it's going to be, I definitely think on paper the Stormers should be favourites, but with that said, the type of rugby the Bulls play it is final rugby. It's the kind of rugby that will win you tournaments, and knockout clashes at least.
Yeah, there we have it. So there's the fixture, the big fixture. Many of you online will be heading out to the Cape Town Stadium. We know Adrian Brinkies, he mentioned that he's going out to Cape Town, and so too are many of you guys flocking out. And about 7:30 South African time on Saturday evening, kickoff in Cape Town Stadium, the big one, the URC Final between the Stormers and the Bulls. And I'm pretty sure this game is going to be a humdinger of a rugby game between two very good rugby sides.
For sure, and I think just looking across the pond back in New Zealand, there's a lot of talk on the the New Zealand show about the South African teams making it to the final. But I think there is some kind of, I won't say a bit of bitterness that I could pick up from certain gentlemen in the studio, but they definitely went. They just thought Africans stay where they are at the moment, and that's fine. That's whatever happens behind the scenes on their side. Look, at the end of the day, we for our first shot at the tournament, we ended up breaking the door down. We have two AC teams in the final. There's a maestro saying the Saturday will win the game in rainy conditions. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're expecting raining conditions. There's also another comment. Ek dink die Stormers gaan verloor want die Bulle se agterlyn is ja, nee, ek dink jy gaan met haar strei nie. Ek dink die Bulle se agterlyn is soos Lily se. Ja, ons gaan later 'n bietjie daaroor gesê. Maar goeie kommentaar is Brittany wat daar inkom. Ek dink jy weet ek tong in die kies gesê ja Berrick, die fondasie word voorgelê en ek is baie versigtig vir die Blou Bulle se voorspelers. Ons het laasweek gepraat en iemand het reg vir my gesê, ek dink dit was Ian Adams wat net gesê het online om te sê daar is die jet lag tussen Ierland en Suid-Afrika nie. Miskien het ek die term jet lag verkeerd gebruik, want jet lag is wanneer jy van een tydsone na 'n ander tydsone beweeg. En dit in daai geval het een my tereg gejaag om te sê daar is die jet lag. Maar wat ek bedoel het was die Bulls gaan op 'n vlug wees op 'n Sondag wanneer die Stormers al reeds in Kaapstad is. En ek dink die Bulls, ek praat onder korreksie, die Bulls het eers Maandag in Kaapstad aangekom. So surely het daardie vlug en die movement van een land na 'n ander land, ek dink definitief het die spanne in die works gegooi vir die Bulle. Ek is seker as professionele ouens in die Bulls wat dit kan counter en kan sê, listen, dit is wat ons moet doen om Saterdag 7:30 op 'n optimale kondisie te wees om weer toe te gaan met die Stormers. Maar ons kan nie uit die weg uitruim dat die Stormers iets wat van 'n voordeel het om tuis te speel in Kaapstad, veral in ag genome dat die Bulls vanaf Ierland moes vlieg Sondag en eers laat Sondag in Suid-Afrika aangekom het. Dit natuurlik kan moontlik 'n deurslaggewende faktor wees.
Nee, 100%. En ons het laas week daaroor gepraat oor die feit dat die Bulle, wat sou hulle gekies het om in Ierland te bly? Sou hulle die Leinster wen of hulle terugkom Suid-Afrika toe? En ons het gepraat van die feit dat hulle daai ekstra 1 of 2 sessies in kan kry om dinge reg te kry vir die Stormers. Nou met hulle travel en hulle het 1 of 2 minder sessies, die manne moet natuurlik na 10 ure vlug, moet hulle natuurlik 'n bietjie kom rus en 'n bietjie dink oor wat voor lê vir die week wat voor lê. So dit definitief getel in die Stormers se guns. Home advantage always counts in the home team's favor. So how the Bulls pull it through. I won't put it past. The Stormers have this knack. They just have a knack. Yeah. They just have a knack to throw it away when they are almost like destined to be there. We think of the Sharks a couple of years ago. The Sharks traveled from SA. They flew to New Zealand for the quarterfinal. They came back to South Africa for the semi-final, and they flew back and were pretty competitive in the final. I think it was against Crusaders, if I'm not mistaken. And they did very well. And that, that traveling, and that's again time zones that they fly through. But for them, they actually handled well. So yeah, on the final day, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I see Manfred coming through. I think Bulls is referee naweek. Kaap van Storms, Bulls loop oor julle. I think Manfred is a Bulls fan, it seems. Lekker, Manfred. Lekker. Welcome. You are both welcome. Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a lot of talk about how that factors will affect the Stormers, how it will affect. Can complacency settle in with the Stormers? The fact that they are thinking that, hold up, we're at home, we've got the crowd support, and to a certain point, that carried the Stormers through, especially in that last 5 minutes in that extra time, at 3 minutes of extra time, that definitely helped the Stormers. And with that said, the atmosphere on Saturday was just fantastic to see how the fans just got behind, and everybody was really, really having a celebration when that final whistle blew, or when the try was scored at least, and when Manny Lebox converted. So it's great to see that gees is back and that spirit is back, and it's fantastic for us as viewers.
No, for sure. Let's just have a quick look at Divan Green. Lensde het net voor ons aanbeweeg wat net Divan Green se kommentaar. Lensde het altyd die bulle gehaal. Hulle is pap. Ja, nee, kyk, dit was 'n tawe game. Divan, ek dink baie verbasend die Bulls wat vir Lensde vooraangevat het, en ek dink dit is op die einde van die dag wat die deurslag gegee het. Ek dink Lensde het verwag dat hulle voor gaan domineer. En op die einde van die dag het die Bulls as te ware, wil ek amper sê, vir hulle verras deur vir hulle voor aan te vat en voor te domineer, en dit natuurlik die deurslag gegee vir daai Bulls se oorwinning. En na dit natuurlik, Elberik, was daar 'n Springbokspan aangekondig. Ek dink 'n Springbokspan wat baie mense 'n bietjie stil gehad het. Kom ons loer gou in by daai Springbokspan. Daar's 'n bietjie klein op die skerm. Daai is die Springbok squad wat Jacques Dienaber, Dion Davids en Swandile Stiek met die samewerking van die direkteur van Rugby, Rassie Erasmus, saamgestel het. 'n baie sterk Springbok squad, en hierdie Springbok span wat natuurlik in toetse gaan speel teen Wallis in Julie hierdie jaar. Wat is jou indruk, Alberik? Ek dink daar is 'n paar regtig ongelukkige spelers, en daar is 'n paar spelers in hierdie squad wat ek dink ook maar op reputasie gekies is. Wat is jou opinie oor hierdie Springbok squad?
No, I agree. I think it's a very, very strong, Springbok. There's only so much players that can actually join the team, but there's a lot of players that are, yes, reputation. You're looking at a few players that you think, what, they could have, put another player in that position. But I think it's a nice combination in terms of experience, and also bringing some youngsters into the fold. Whether that guys will be able to play, well, that's another story for another day. But I think it's a good team in light of, like I said, now the youth coming through the ranks. I mean, for me, the nice part about this team is, for example, the guys like that we've been screaming about, the Evan Rooses, the Elrics, and those guys have been able to make come to the fore and be reckoned with. But then you also think, for example, I think that we might just be a bit thin, for me, is on fly-off. Fly-off being the fact that if, whether Elton or Andre, if one of them gets injured, what happens then? Who is the third guy? Would be able to step up. Yeah, we got Damon Willem said that he's a utility back that can fill that role. But a recognized fly-off as a third option would have been great to see. It would have been, great to see. Even Hendrikse to be in the team as well, and to be counted with the big guys, and to see how what the systems are in place, how it is to be in a box team, to be preparing for a Welsh tour, and at the same time you're looking forward beyond the Welsh tour, you're looking towards the Rugby Championship. So it would have been great to blood a youngster like him into the team for the Rugby Championship as well.
No, for sure. I think in general a very, very good Springbok squad, and a squad that I believe should win the series against Wales. But obviously it's all to play for, and we're hoping to see some of the young guys. If you look very closer, there's obviously an asterisk behind the guys that that has been chosen for the very, very first time. Let's hope that these guys don't only make up the numbers, but that some of them will get a run on in for their first cap against Wales. But all in all, I think a very, very good squad. Some unlucky guys, there's some talk about, some talk. We know that Dwayne Vermeulen, his name does not appear on the team sheet. He is undergoing some surgery to fix a knee. Then Frans Steyn, another guy that we miss in this lineup, a senior guy, and he is also nursing some injuries. But I think also part of a bigger plan to perhaps to try and get those elderly, let's call them older guys, some senior guys, to get them to World Cup to the next World Cup. So it's all about game management. But let's hope that some of the youngsters that have been chosen for the very first time, that they do make their debut in this series as well.
Let me ask you this question. Looking at this team, and one name stands out, especially in the back line. Who do you think is lucky to have made this team?
No, I think there's quite a few guys that I believe, and let's be honest. This is my opinion. I think Jesse Kriel is very lucky to make this team ahead of a guy like Cornel Hendricks, who can play at 12 and 13. And there's obviously a lot of reasons. There's a lot of medical reasons. There is also Garth Fransman. It seems to me he agrees with me. I think Cornel Hendricks has been really, really good. And Jesse Kriel, we know his ability to play at center and wing. Cornel Hendricks also ticking those boxes. So there's a lot of sentiment about it. And then also, I also believe that this might be a very, very strong test for Willie Leroux to keep his spot, specifically with the form of Warwick Galant. I think Warwick Galant is going to stake down a claim to really take that number 15 jersey away from Willie Leroux. A lot of people spoke about Fassi also in the squad. But if you look at Warwick, he's got all the creativeness.
Yes.
He's got that ability to pop up at first receiver. And if there's one guy that's going to push Willie right to the brim for that jersey, it is Warwick, because he's got all the attributes. He can kick with the right foot, he can kick with the left, he can pop up at first receiver, he can really razzle dazzle, he can get the back line going. He is, for me, the complete fullback that we need to really substitute or complement Willie in that role. And for me, I think Willie Leroux also very, very lucky to make the side, especially taking into account there's a lot of other players that can as ek die van Green ek sê Willie. We don't want to mention players, but I also want to agree with Divan. You've asked me the question here, Barrick, and I think those are the two players that's very fortunate that to be in the side at this present state. We know Springbok Rugby, a lot of sentiment. We select the players that's done the job previously. So those are the two players I think very fortunate to be in the squad.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Andrew, especially on the Jesse Kriel part. With all due respect, Jesse Kriel has played some good games over the years for the Boks, but just based on the fact that there's such a lot of power centers at the moment in SA Rugby, the fact that there's Cornel Hendricks besides the Lucanios and obviously Damien, Cornel Hendricks has put his name up in a major way. So yeah, it's a pity that Cornel's not in the team. But I agree with you on those sentiments as well.
No, for sure. We're really looking forward to that test series, and then obviously for those people from the let's call it the southern tip of South Africa in Cape Town, on the 16th of July, the Springboks will play Wales in the Cape Town Stadium, and we will probably have a mad dash for tickets. Even if you don't get tickets, just to be in and around Cape Town Stadium, it's going to be certainly something to behold when the Springboks play Wales in Cape Town on the 16th of July. We're all looking forward to that series, Alberic. We should, as a Springbok side, be able to beat Wales in South Africa for a series victory.
Clearly, I think 3-0 should be at least 3-0. I don't see the Welsh team. I think for years, there has been 1 or 2 years that they have been played. They've dominated Europe and the Six Nations. But I think we give them, with all due respect, I know they play very similar rugby to what we play sometimes. And I think, with all due respect to them, we should be walking away with a 3-0 at least against them. Obviously, we look across the water, New Zealand's facing the Irish, which I think will be a more stiffer challenge. And, a lot of the guys, we see now what Leinster does and the Munsters and those guys. And you can see the level of, that comes out of Ireland is huge. Ulster as well. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen on that side. But I think on our side, we should be walking away 3-0 at least.
I agree. I think the Springboks should take that series. And obviously, there's a lot of people tuned in tonight. I see a lot of traffic on screen. There's a lot of people tuned in, and the reason for those people tuning in, especially from a specific area in the Western Cape called the Swartland, is that 2 weeks ago, Alberic, we went to go and see a rugby derby of note. It was a rugby derby between Abbotsdale and Wesbank at the Abbotsdale Sport Grounds, and I can tell you, it was worth every cent. Right from the start, we arrived there. It was packed already from 11 o'clock in the morning. We arrived there to obviously to a big welcome from both teams, spectators, supporters, and players, and just an experience to behold.
Awesome. I can't say, you'll probably see in the clip, I said the word fantastic so many times, but it was an awesome experience. I think the vibe was just, one that I can savor for a long time. Club rugby has always been, the life and the blood of our country, and to see it so alive and to see so many people supporting, their local heroes is amazing. I mean, I actually walked past, 2 or 3 kids on the side of the field, and they were talking about, Dina was for Dina gepass it, and that, and they were naming these guys by name. They weren't just calling, the center was that. So the way they have, they carry these players on their hands is amazing to see, and that's what we need. I mean, these guys are our local heroes. They're role models for youngsters all out there. And this weekend, 2 weeks ago, that game was really a model game for how club rugby should be played. The atmosphere was brilliant, and also just the amount of skills that was seen on the field was absolutely amazing. What a nice example to show how strong ball and rugby is.
No, for sure. And an absolute pity that these types of games are not televised on television. So if there's anybody who has something to do with super sport or any television out there, you're going to watch some of these clips. This is some footage by some really amateur photographers, but also the two of us obviously chancing our arm in some presenting. But there is really an opportunity for SuperSport. And if there's people out there, SABC, SuperSport, Cape Town TV, we're calling you out. You need to come out to club rugby games. And we want to see these club rugby games on our television live. So let's have a look at some of the footage, Alberic. We visited the Abbotsdale Sport Grounds. Here's some of the highlights. And we want your opinion after this clip. Abbotsdale versus Wesbank in one of the historic and one of the biggest club rugby games in the country. We visited them. Check this out.
So Alberic, here we are. It's been the anticipation has been there, and here we are. You can hear the atmosphere. How is this experience for you? Abbotsdale Sports Grounds, a major derby. We have the curtain raiser. It's just unbelievable.
I never expected it's going to be like this. That's totally amazing. I mean, the amount of people that's here today, it's fantastic. The spirit that's here is amazing. It's good to see club rugby is back on track.
Yeah, and as you can hear now, Abbotsdale's second team has just scored a try. In this corner here, we've got Abbotsdale supporters. In that corner there, we've got the Wesbank supporters. And this game is going to be very tight because, as we said on Thursday on our show, it's a top of the log fixture.
I think what's going to happen is, I think Today, Wesbank is going to come back with a bang. It's going to be a tight game. I'm backing Red today. As we said in the last week's show, we're backing Red today. It's going to be phenomenal. And as we're standing here, there's a wind blowing from south to north. What impact will that have? I mean, you live here, you know what the conditions are here. Would it change? Does it stay the same, or does it get stronger?
No, the wind will remain the same. It's a big factor. Everybody that comes here, they know the wind will blow slightly from Cape Town side, blowing in the direction of Malmesbury. It's going to be very important for the captains to take that into consideration at the toss, because history shows that the wind will pick up in the same direction. So the team playing from left to right, left with a slight advantage in the first half. Important for that team to lead, because it's very difficult playing against the wind in the second half.
There you have it. I'm not saying the wind is going to blow for Abbotsdale today. I'm saying it's going to blow for Wesbank. Let's see how this one turns out.
Goeiemiddag, ek is Rodney Brown. Ek is die voorsitter van die Abbotsdale Rugby Club. Ons welkom almal vandag hier op Lily Park, die Steel Kites. Vandag is een van die grootste derbies in die Swartland, sowel as die Boland. Hierdie game beteken baie vir ons gemeenskap, juist omdat dit een van die grootste sportsoorte in ons gemeenskap is.
Goeiemiddag. Baie dankie Tekkel Talk vir die geleentheid wat julle my gee. My naam is Divan Green, die voorsitter van Wesbank Rugby voetbalklub. Ons kom op Abbotsdale toe vandag as die underdogs. Die skare staan net voor Abbotsdale, baie intimiderend. Maar soos Wesbank, maar ons ken van dit. Die fixes, Wesbank Abbotsdale is altyd 'n grootte. Skare is gepak. Mense is lus vir die fixe. Soos dit lyk, is Abbotsdale eerste, Wesbank lê tweede. En die lok is baie similar. Dis wat dit so 'n groot game maak vir ons in die Swartland.
Ons het betrokke geraak by die Abbotsdale Rugby Club, want dit is vir ons belangrik om terug te ploeg in die gemeenskap in. En ons het die potensiaal gesien in die Abbotsdale Rugby Club. En ek voel ons keuse was die regte keuse.
Ja, soos jy kan sien, die veld is volgepak. Die mense het baie lank gewag vir die derby en ons weet, Abbotsdale het ons binne en buite gewen. So die 2 jaar wat ons gerus het, was maar baie hard op die ouens. Maar ja, die dag het aangebreek vir wat ons almal voor gewag het. En soos jy kan sien, die rooi en wit is op Abbotsdale. Ek weet dit gaan 'n tawe een wees, maar ek dink my man is reg vir die derby.
En Wilkie, kyk, na lang tyd wat so baie mense bymekaar is. Wat beteken dit vir jou as 'n rugbyspan in so 'n gemeenskap?
Ja, dit beteken vir ons baie. Van ons is 'n plekkie, 'n baie klein plekkie met 'n groot span. En die plekkie bestaan net uit 4 strate en dit is wat vir ons motiveer, omdat ons so 'n klein dorpie is en almal wat uitgekom het vandag, dit om ons te ondersteun. Want soos julle kan sien, hulle by huise omgaan, ja, as die mense by huise, hulle is hier. En dit wil ek net baie dankie sê vir julle wat dit ook moontlik maak vir ons.
Ek staan nou met een van die legends van Wesbank Rugby Club, vele jare vir Wesbank gespeel. Hy ken die veld goed. Hy het 'n paar wedstryde, heel paar wedstryde hier gespeel en ek dink nie hy het 'n wedstryd gespeel wat hy verloor het, is my statistieke reg.
Is heeltemal reg, hy nie. Is altyd lekker om teen Abbotsdale te speel. Daar word teenstand. Soos jy kan sien, die supporters is altyd geesdriftig. En so kan sê is altyd lekker om 'n derby te kan speel teen Wesbank. Altyd die derby Wesbank en Abbotsdale is altyd een van die grootstes in die land as ek so kan sê.
Okay, ons het nou vir Cameron hier so 'n passievolle Abbotsdale Lily supporter. Cameron, wat dink jy gaan vandag gebeur?
Ja, die atmosfeer is so lekker. Sy video's vaat sy wil kan inlaat, maar ek is 'n volle Lily, trotse Lily, al die pad.
Ja, het jy dit? Lily supporter. Lilies, wat dink julle?
Mentaliteit, né? Nie die size, die spoeding, die eter in jou. Né boys, kom ons wys van die plek waaroor die hele ding gaan.
I mean, not the knife edge we were predicting. The score is 16-0 at the moment. So, not a knife edge kind of thriller we were looking towards. But nonetheless, Abbotsdale played with a huge advantage with a win. Things are going to change in the second half. They're playing against the win. What do you expect going into the second half? What's going to be the key factors for the second half?
Yeah, no, you've rightfully so. You spoke about the win. Abbotsdale with a blustering win behind him, able to put up 16 points. It's 16 points to 0 at halftime. I'm expecting Destin Wiaman from Wesbank to get them into the good areas now. But I was very impressed with Wiam Seister. 2 drop goals. He dictated the game very well, and I think Abbotsdale couldn't have asked for anything better. They in the lead. Wesbank on 0 points in front of their home crowd. It's not going to be easy for Wesbank to come back, but I predict them. They are championship side. I think they will be back in the second half.
And with that said, I mean, besides the fact that the win does play such a huge role, the forwards of Abbotsdale has been fantastic. I mean, you can see the scrums, they were really dominating proceedings. Do you think that Wesbank has it in them to come back, especially in the forward play, because then they can start making things happen in the tight five or in the forwards at least?
I think at this stage, Wesbank has no answer for Abbotsdale's forwards. I think Abbotsdale's forwards is dominating the game. I don't think Wesbank is going to take them on in the forwards. I predict Destin Wiaman to get them into good territory. And then obviously we've seen if Wesbank does go wide, there's trouble. There's trouble for Abbotsdale. They need to be very wary. But I still think Abbotsdale now with a 16-point cushion, it should be enough. But still, you know, they need to keep their nerve. And I believe this game might go down to the wire. Yes, 16 points, but it's still going to come down to discipline. We've seen 2 yellow cards for Abbotsdale, 1 yellow card for Wesbank. Discipline is going to be key. I'm still backing the home team to win this game, but like you say, 40 minutes still to play.
Yeah, guys, it's going to be a fantastic second half we're looking forward to. Stay tuned, you're going to see, we're going to show you the results shortly.
Okay, die tweede helfte wat het so pas begin. Ek is hier in 'n hoekie by Wesbank ondersteuners. Saam met my is een van hulle passievolle supporters, Pieter John Mentor. Jou span is op die oomblik 16-0 agter. Hoe voel jy op die oomblik? Gaan hulle terugkom in die game?
Ek dink hulle gaan terugkom. Ek dink hulle stuur. Wessies het die krag. Ek dink hulle is daar.
Op die oomblik doen julle baie goed. Wat dink jy moet gebeur hierso vir julle om terug te kom op Abbotsdale se tuisveld? Op die oomblik lyk dit regtig nie meer, maar soos jy sê, hulle is 'n kampioenspan, hulle gaan terugkom. Wat moet hulle doen hierso?
Ek dink hulle moet net die bal 'n bietjie vinniger speel en deur die hande 'n bietjie vinniger klop.
Daar het hulle Wesbank supporters, Wesbank. Man van die wedstrijd, Wiam, het was een taffe enetjie. Het kon enige kant toe gaan. 2 skepskoppe en dan natuurlijk die beslissende skop wat daar so by Abbotsdale deurslaggewend is. Hoe voel jy op die oomblik?
Baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Ja, ek kan die woorde kan nie beskryf hoe ek voel hier. Obviously in Wesbank is altyd daar, dis waar vir ons lewe. Maar ek is net trots op die boeie se effort.
Man van die wedstrijd, op die oomblik, Wimpie. Het kon enige kant toe gegaan het, maar jy is die man van die wedstrijd. Wrapping it up here from Abbotsdale Sport Grounds. What a game. What a game. Abbotsdale beating Wesbank in the dying seconds of the game. 19 points to 17 with a penalty from Wiam Seister. What a day. What a day. It's absolutely spectacular.
And again, you couldn't have scripted it better. We spoke about a thriller. There was a lot of guys saying 8 points, 5 points, the difference would be. But I mean, with 2 points, I mean, and the dying moments of the game, Abbotsdale pulled it through with a penalty. The atmosphere was just fantastic. I mean, really, besides the atmosphere, the rugby was fantastic. Some great skills to show. Really a great example, like I mentioned earlier, for club rugby in the Borderland. So yeah, well done, man. Fantastic.
We spoke to spectators, we spoke to the coaches, we saw some spectacular community rugby here at Abbotsdale. What a day for the Tekkel Chat to be live at the Abbotsdale Sport Grounds in this historic derby. And Alberic, many more events like this to come for Tekkel.
No, for sure. Ek is nog steeds 'n Wesbank man, guys. Alles die manne Abbotsdale, maar ek is Wesbank, so Wesbank like weet ons wanneer is die volgende game? Ons gaan die keer kry, volgende keer kry ten minste.
So to Abbotsdale and Wesbank, well done on a great derby, great rugby, and thanks for inviting the Tekkel Chat. Check this out on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Until then, see you again.
Absolutely spectacular. Absolutely brilliant. What a moment for us there, Barry, to experience that.
Awesome.
Just a snapshot of the day, obviously, but we had many more interactions with various fans, and we had an after party. It was just brilliant.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. I think I said a couple of times in the episode or the clip at least. Thanks, Sandra. Obviously mentioning that the best derby in the world, and yeah, right. So I think the amount of support that was on the day there. I mean, me driving into the stadium, I think I mentioned to you, coming to the stadium, just seeing the amount of cars that were there, it just shows, the support that the people, carry towards their local rugby team, and it's amazing. It's really great. And again, the people was fantastic. The people were awesome. They're brilliant. Loved after the game. We mentioned last week we had a bride Furlough's house, and thanks to Furlough again. It was fantastic, and really looking forward to the next one.
No, for sure. It goes beyond my understanding why we need to watch school rugby on a Saturday morning between Paul Roos or whoever, Waterkloof and Supersport televising those games. It really goes beyond my comprehension that there is games like this where 6,000, 7,000 people flock to a game. It really makes an impact in the community. You have businesses buying in, and then you need to watch schoolboy rugby. Someone needs to explain it to me. Maybe sometimes I'm just a bit slow in catching some stuff. But so if there are people on show, or maybe at a later stage mail us, explain to me why schoolboy rugby is being televised on Supersport, and there's no space for these types of games, live games on Supersport. We have Club Rugby Live on YouTube doing wonderful work. To all the guys behind the scene for Club Rugby Live, keep up the good work. Tekkel Talk Show, support that. But if there's anybody from a television station, Supersport, whoever, please explain to me why these guys with a skill level and drawing the cards, getting communities together, the level of rugby that you've seen at this club is just a drop. You need to watch some of the live games. We need to get these guys on television. That is the only way where the late bloomers in club rugby is going to be shown, and that is where they will find a path route to get into our Currie Cup sides, into our Varsity Cup sides, into our national sides. So that is my challenge. And if I'm out of order, let's give the Tekkel Talk Show a call, give them an email and say, Heinrich, jy weet nie waar wanneer praat nie. Dit is die rede hoekom ons 11:00 die oggend op jou televisie waarvoor jy betaal sekere rugby wys. Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think
die gloves kom 'n bietjie af vanaand.
Ek sien die gloves kom af. Ja, ek sê, look, at the same time, I'll play devil's advocate and say, I do understand that the feeding scheme of how rugby works in South Africa. That school rugby is that level that that gets exposure because of the fact
preferential treatment.
Yeah, it feeds the next the line, which is the under-20s and school under-20s and upwards to the franchises, the provincial rugby and the franchises. But so I do understand that aspect. At the same time, the amount of good that it will be done in the communities to have these games televised, I think it will do amazing for our community. It will uplift the community. It will make that different. Like you mentioned, there's a few businesses that can benefit from the fact that they'll get airtime on a show that has thousands and thousands of viewers. So it does. There's a lot of good that can be done, and hopefully somehow, some way, they can get the exposure somewhere. Not only necessarily in Boland, I mean, the Western Province and all the other provinces as well. The rest of the country. There should be, channels available for us to be watching those club rugby games. It would be great to see what's happening in Gauteng, what's happening in the local rugby scene in Gauteng, what's happening. We get to see it, flip a channel, and we're able to see what's happening in the Free State, what their club rugby is like. So yeah, it's a matter of what investment can be done to bring these guys to the fore, because they definitely need. I think they not only are they heroes in their communities, but they do pull a lot of crowds, and they make give highlights to small businesses, which is fantastic as well.
No, for sure. So to Abbotsdale and Wesbank, to all the management, the players, everybody involved in hosting that derby.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. To the spectators for their professional behavior. There was a time where one of the side fencing actually collapsed, and there was only a piece of ribbon between the fans and the field. No one moved an inch towards the field. That is the level of professionalism, and to everybody involved, right from hosting us at the entrance, for inviting us in, to all the fans, especially from Abbotsdale and from Wesbank, to the management. And even afterwards, we had some shoulder rubbing with the management in the reception area of Abbotsdale. To everybody involved, 10 out of 10 for hosting this game.
Yeah, fantastic.
To the spectators for their behavior, for their sportsmanship. You all play a role, and then most importantly to the players. What a spectacle of a rugby game, entertaining us from minute 1 right up until the end of that game. And we will certainly make our way to some of the other club games all across our province at a later stage, LB.
Yeah, 100%. But before we get there, let's start off at the next game. Wanneer is Wesbank? Wesbank supporters laat weet vir ons wanneer speel hulle tuis teen Abbotsdale. Ek dink 'n lekker bordjie revenge is op
unfinished business.
Yeah, nee. Ons moet terugkom. So guys, let me know when that drop us a mail or message or WhatsApp and let us know when the next game is going to be. Gaan lekker wees.
En daai game soos dit nou lyk, kan daai game moontlik deurslaggewend wees. Ek moet vir julle sê daar het 'n wedstryd 'n match week plaasgevind. Na daai Wesbank het natuurlik punte opgetel. Abbotsdale het punte gedrop teen Darling. Hulle het nie verloor nie, maar hulle het gelyk opgespeel teen Darling. Nog 'n ander gunsteling in hierdie liga. So dinge is baie naby nou op die oomblik tussen Abbotsdale, Never Despair, Darling en Wesbank. En wie weet, miskien daai fikse op Wesbank kan moontlik die verskil wees tussen eerste en tweede. Ons hoop nou net nie dat jou span Wesbank 2 keer in 'n ry teen die groene kon verloor.
Stadig. Nee. Stadig. Okay.
Stadig.
Stadig voor die klip. We're going to be back. But with that said, guys, there's many of these kind of derbies across, the Western Cape, across South Africa, across the Boland. Let us know. Drop us a line, drop us a WhatsApp or an email at tekkelchat@gmail.com, and let us know what is your feature that turns heads on the calendar in your region. Let us know. We will definitely pitch up. We'll be there to have a look and also showcase the local heroes, the local businesses where we can. And then I think it's vital. I think it's important for our club rugby for them to get the highlights. And with that said, I just want to give a big shout out to our media partner as well, Kayla Media, that on the day did a fantastic job. Just making sure that the footage was done professionally.
Wow.
I think it's we can take our hats off to Enrico and the team, so for their great job on the day. So thanks Kayla Media. And
if you've noticed the clip, I know I see some of you saying that the clip just buffered a bit. I think it's just if you're going to rewatch it now, it's probably going to play very, very smooth. I think it's the reason it was live. So just rewatch it. I'm pretty sure you will see all the action, without any problems. But Kayla Media getting that the tries and right up until the very end, you can see the drop goals of VM Seister. You can see some of the miss kicks that was controversial in that game. But right up until the very end, he was right there, and he caught the action from minute 1 up until the very end. So to Enrico and Kayla Media, well done. Thanks for coming out with us. Ons is maar net praters. Ons is nie manne wat hier agter die skerms kameraatjie kan pas nie, maar definitief jy in jou company absoluut skitterend.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that goes hand in hand with giving a good product. We spoke about it earlier. Giving a good product, with example, with regards to DStv and playing these games. You need the kind of team that backs them as well. And it's just amazing to see that club rugby can be that amazing product that we all hope it to be. I see some big things coming up.
Yeah, for sure. So many of you want to know, what do we say about the Stormers and the Bulls? We will obviously give you that verdict at around about 6 o'clock on Saturday, when we go on a live Facebook chat for around about 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll get some of you in at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So please subscribe on our YouTube channel, but also follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. And on Saturday, the big game between the Stormers and the Bulls, and catch us at 6 o'clock for a 5-minute chat. En dan gaan Alberic reveal dat hy sê hy dink die Stormers gaan wen. Maar kom tune gerus in wanneer ons 'n bietjie gesels saam met 'n paar van julle fans. 6 uur Saterdag. We know that kickoff is about 7:30 in Cape Town. And if you are in the stadium, why not send us some of your pics, some of your clips, or some of your voice notes, just to tell us how the flavor is going there in Cape Town. We will not be there on Saturday due to other commitments, but we will certainly be tuning in at 6 o'clock for our live chat and preview of the big URC finale. Alberic, it's been another bumper show. 50 minutes has flown by, but it was a show we all looked forward to. The big rugby derby between Abbotsdale and Wesbank. Just a pleasure to be there.
Yeah, no, I can't talk enough about it. We would definitely be back in Malmesbury again to look at other games as well. But again, thanks a lot to everybody in Abbotsdale and Wesbank for making such an awesome experience for myself. Awesome. Guys, please, next time we'll show up the fixtures. You guys need to pitch up at these games. It's amazing, amazing, amazing.
No, for sure. So enjoy the rest of your youth day. For those of you who are fortunate enough to have a long weekend, enjoy that too. We will be in our role as presenters on Saturday at 6 o'clock when we preview the Bulls versus the Stormers. And for those of you who are traveling to Cape Town for that final, please drive safely. And we hope that your team, whether it's the Stormers or the Bulls, that they make you proud. And we'll certainly see you at 6 o'clock when we speak about our opinion about that big game. Until then, Alberic, wat sê jy? Gaan jy sê Stormers of gaan jy nou sê Wesbank?
Stormers en Wesbank.
Stormers en Wesbank. Sien julle Saterdag 6 uur at Tekkel Chat, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Dankie dat julle ingeskakel het. Tot volgende week donderdag. Cheers.